I came here with a very ignorant view of Taiwan. I had a very stereotypical view of Asian people in general, I'm ashamed to say. She just said, go to Taiwan. I thought, oh, it's going to be a place that's very buttoned down. What we do is we take Buddhist sutras and mantras and we turn them into death metal songs. I feel that I am still indebted to this place. It has given me everything. It has given me the life that I want to live. Making assumptions serves no one, and it's a really stupid way to go through life. It's a really ignorant way to go through life. I think those are the people that have a hard time when they come over here.
Hi, 大家好，欢迎来 Welcome to Taiwan. Today we are in Taipei to have a chat with our Canadian friend. And before we go, please don't forget to click that subscription button, like the video, help us share if you can. Also, you can become a channel member. We're gonna have a raffle draw for channel members to give away 10 prizes every month. So be a member, you can be one of the lucky winners a month.
My name is Joe Henley. I come originally from Canada, from a place called Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And in Taiwan, I'm a freelance writer and musician.
How long have you been in Taiwan?
I got here in May of 2005, so I'm coming up on 20 years.
Why do you choose to come to Taiwan?
When I was finishing university, I was doing a degree in journalism in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. And I lived in a dormitory just right above the journalism school. And one of the girls that lived in the dormitory with me, she had actually lived in Taichung for a year previously. We were just talking and she said, well, what are you going to do after you graduate? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to work? I said, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm going to do. Don't know where I'm going to go. She just said, go to Taiwan. All she said basically was, it's fun. I was kind of looking for something different, some adventure, travel. It was either that or maybe go get a job at a small town newspaper. That didn't really appeal to me. So I said I could go do the small town newspaper or I could go somewhere she says is fun. I chose somewhere that she said was fun. 3 weeks after she said that to me, go to Taiwan, it's fun, I landed in Taiwan. And I thought maybe I'll stay here for a year, teach English, move on to the next place. 20 years later, still here.
Before she recommended Taiwan to you, what do you know about Taiwan?
I knew about Taiwan previously through sports. I remember once Taiwan women's softball team came to play the Canadian national team. And of course on the jerseys it said Chinese Taipei, and I had no idea what Chinese Taipei was. I knew what Taiwan was because Taiwan was on the bottom, stamped on the bottom of all my toys, made in Taiwan. And it was at that point somebody explained to me, oh, it's the same place, they just have to have two different names. And as a child, I didn't really understand that. I didn't know the history, I didn't know the reasons, but I thought, okay, Chinese Taipei, Taiwan, same thing. That was basically the extent of my knowledge of the place, just very basic, very little. And I had to learn about it just on the ground, which I think is the best place to learn about it. You can read about it in books, you can study it from afar, but when you're on the ground and you're among the local people, you're immersed in the culture, it's much deeper. You can go more in depth and learn more about it.
Not knowing much about the culture and many other stuff, when you first arrived in Taiwan, what surprised you?
I came here with a very, I'll just say, ignorant view of Taiwan. I had a very stereotypical view of Asian people in general, I'm ashamed to say. I thought, oh, it's going to be a place that's very buttoned down. It's a place where people are very serious, they work, they study, and that's about it. When I first landed here, I went straight from the airport to Taichung, where my friend had lived before, and I arrived in the middle of the night. So the first thing I did was I dropped my stuff off at this person's apartment, and we went straight to a bar. I think it was a Saturday night, actually. So I just saw people partying I had never seen people party before, dancing on tables, drinking, all kinds of things. I'm like,
wow.
Okay, I was wrong. I was dead wrong. I need to let go of all of my assumptions. I need to stop being such an idiot about this and be more open-minded. Very quickly proved to me that making assumptions serves no one, and it's a really stupid way to go through life. It's a really ignorant way to go through life. So just right off the bat, I was like, okay, I need to change my perceptions of this place and just actually take it in and let Taiwan and the Taiwanese people show me what they are rather than just me making all these blind assumptions about what this place is and who these people are.
Could you give us a brief summary of things you've gone through from the moment you arrived here to the point where you found your feet?
Yeah, when I first got here, I had very, very little money to start off with. I booked my flight. I spent most of the money I had on the flight ticket. I had about $500 Canadian to start my new life in Taiwan, somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000 NT, so not a lot. I didn't have a lot of time. My friend had basically told me, oh, as soon as you get off the plane, so easy to find a job teaching English. They'll be throwing jobs at you the second you get off the plane. I kind of just took her at her word for that. I didn't do any research. I just knew I wanted to go, and maybe if I actually looked into it, I would have talked myself out of it, so I just went. So it took me about 3 weeks actually to find my first job teaching English. And I saw my money going down and down and down. I'm getting worried because I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. I'm going to be out on the street. But then I found a job in a very small town in Changhua County. And the job was open and available, I'm pretty sure, because very few people wanted to go there. It was a very quiet place, not a lot going on, charming in its own way, quiet, peaceful. I was 22 years old, and quiet and peaceful were nice, but it wasn't necessarily what I was looking for. So I took it. I went there for about 2 months with no teaching experience. I had no idea how to control a classroom of children. It was a learning experience, and I was not very good at it. And I'm the type of person who, if I'm not all the way in, I will find a way to sabotage it. I need to be in it with my whole heart and my whole head in order to be good at it. And I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do, and I'm sure my boss there knew that as well. And he kind of was like, hey, good news. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot more free time because you don't have to do the summer camp. You can just do like 4 hours a week here, and that's enough. Basically, quiet firing me and doing me a favor, doing him a favor, doing me a favor, doing it very nicely. At that point, thankfully, I found a job in Taipei at a publishing company. So it was closer to what I wanted to do because I had studied journalism. I knew I wanted to write. And I did that job for about seven years, just sitting at a desk, writing, editing. They are, in many cases, going down. They're going in the wrong direction. So I gravitated more towards long-term projects, creative projects in film, writing books for myself and for other people, doing some ghostwriting.
Canada, what are 1 or 2 things that Canadians do differently to Taiwanese?
Our friendliness is different, I think. You know, like I was just back in Canada like 2 weeks ago to see my parents. And I would go out jogging pretty much every day. And when you're out on the jogging paths, like pretty much everybody you pass, they smile, they say hello. I was jogging past another guy who was running and he gave me a fist bump on the way by. That's not really something people do here. It's a little bit more reserved. Still friendly, like people will nod and smile. It's just a little bit different.
Many people have mentioned Taiwanese people don't enjoy their life. They only work home.
If anywhere that you go, there's people that are focused on their studies or focused on their career. That's a segment of the population anywhere. And the economic and the political history of Taiwan, there is a premium placed on having the good job, having the good salary, going to the right schools, climbing the corporate ladder. But when I came here, of course, I had that first night out at the bar, seeing the other side, seeing the nightlife side, seeing the joyful side. And then very quickly I got involved in the music scene here, and I was immersed in a world of musicians. And I met people who, yes, most of them would have the day job that sustained them, allowed them to pay rent and buy food and everything that they need. But they also had something that nourished, I would say, their spiritual side or their creative side. The side that I believe actually makes life worth living, because money and career they don't keep you warm at night. They don't bring, in most cases, they don't bring joy to your life. It's something to do because you have to.
What type of music do you play?
Well, since I've been here, I've been in death metal bands, grindcore bands. I had a punk band for a while, and now I am in a Buddhist death metal band called Dharma. And we're one of very few, if not the only, Buddhist death metal band in the world currently.
Do you have some of your songs online? Or?
Yeah, well, like we're all over YouTube, Spotify. What we do is we take Buddhist sutras and mantras and we turn them into death metal songs. So they're all the lyrics are in the original Sanskrit. I'm doing the vocals.
That's interesting.
I scream. I do a little bit of clean vocals as well, but mostly I'm doing harsh growls and guttural screams and things of that nature. And we have a Buddhist nun in the band as well, doing backup vocals, clean vocals, and some lead vocals as well. So that's been going for about the last 5 years, performing in Taiwan and playing in Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, India, and in a couple of weeks we're going to Thailand for our first show there.
All right. Links to the music will also be in the description below. Let's go check it out.
I actually formally became a Buddhist a few years ago, but I was always drawn to how prevalent Taoism and Buddhism is in people's everyday lives. Of course, living in Taipei, temples are everywhere. There's a small temple for Tudigong, like 2 doors down from my apartment.
Almost 20 years here. What has Taiwan taught you?
It's taught me basically everything. Like I came here as a very young man, and in many ways, I was 22 years old, so I've basically grown up here in terms of becoming an adult, learning all the life skills one needs to be a fairly well-functioning human being. It's taught me patience. Still an ongoing learning process when it comes to patience, but a Taiwanese bank is a great place to learn the concept of patience or the concepts of stoicism. The people here have also instilled in me a strong sense of kindness. Like I say, from the very first moment I arrived, there was a gentleman who helped take care of me on the street. He could have walked by, he could have just left me there and said, you know what, I don't want to deal with this, like this is not my problem. He stopped and helped me, and ever since then, there have been several different times, even when I went to apply to go to the job interview for the school in a small town, got hopelessly lost because I didn't have a phone. I think Google Maps might have been a thing there, but I didn't even have a phone at that time. Took the bus, they told me, oh, like look for this certain color sign, like look for this blue sign. And then like next to a 7-Eleven, which is really helpful when there's a million 7-Elevens. Yeah. And I'm looking out the bus window, there's a 7-Eleven, there's a 7-Eleven, there's a blue sign over there. Long story short, I ride the bus all the way to the end of the line. I'm the last one. The guy stops at like where all the buses stop, and he just looks back. He's like, damn, like this foreigner is still on my bus. He's like, you got to get off. I get off, middle of nowhere, just start walking. Hopelessly lost again. Again, another man. He was working in a cell phone shop, and he just saw me probably on the verge of tears on the street. He just came out of his shop, spoke some English, and he's like, you okay? So I'm like, no, I'm late for a job interview. I have no idea where I am. Like literally, I don't know if I'm in Changhua City. I don't know if I'm in Changhua County. He took the phone number that I had for the school, called them up, and he drove me there.
Wow.
Otherwise, I would have missed the interview. I wouldn't have got the job. Probably would have been homeless after that. So kindness, I cannot overlook or overstate how the concept of kindness and paying that forward. So I always still, to this day, feel that I am still indebted to this place. It has given me everything. It has given me the life that I want to live. It's given me a love for life, which I can't always say that I had, but I have it now. So I will always owe this place, and I will always try to pay that back.
Do you have anything else to tell Taiwanese people?
It gives me a warm feeling, when you're walking by and a stranger just simply says hello. And people do that here. But they tend to do it only to foreigners. Like they're just saying hello, like they're welcoming you to Taiwan, even if they don't know you. They don't know I've been here for 20 years, but they might say, welcome to Taiwan. And it gives me a very warm feeling every time. Like I know some people get annoyed by that. I don't really understand why. They're like, oh, I've been here for so long. Well, they don't know that. They're just trying to be friendly.
They're trying to be friendly.
I think it'd be cool if Taiwanese people did that for themselves, like say hello. I understand it's different because this is a very big city. There's millions of people. We can do that where I'm from because it's not crowded and you're not constantly passing by people. You might walk by somebody and then not see another soul for 10 minutes. So of course you say hello. Here there's people constantly passing by each other. You can't be just saying hello, how are you doing? You'll never get anywhere. You'll never get anything done. The same way that you couldn't do it in New York. I mean, if you try and do that in New York, people are like, what? Stop talking to me. I got places to go. I got things to do. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to infringe Canadian culture upon the culture here. I want Taiwan to remain what it is for the Taiwanese people. I mean, they are the ones that dictate what this place is, what the culture is. I've been here for a long time and I feel this is home. But in a sense, I know I am still a guest here. I'm not someone who should be wagging my finger at people and saying, oh, you should do things this way. I just hope this place will remain what it is and continue to improve. I hope your lives will continue to get better the same way that you have helped my life to get better. Taiwan doesn't exist to improve my life. It had, and I'm very grateful for that. But I wish for that same prosperity and for that same love of life for everyone. But within it, if you come here with a mind towards infringing your own culture, your own values, and a mind towards speaking more than listening, I think those are the people that have a hard time when they come over here. They're focused on telling people how it is rather than listening to how it actually is here. So I would say, come here with open ears. Not a closed mouth, but listen more than you speak.
Thank you very much for giving us your time and sharing your experience in living in Taiwan, and hope you continue to progress here in Taiwan.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Gansia ni sokan. If you like the video, please click on that subscription button, like the video, help us share if you can. If you don't like the video, yet still, help us like the video and leave a comment things that you don't like about the video. And see you in my next video.